Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, nobody seemed to like Cope versus Moxley, so it's a good job they're doing it again.
Could AEW unify some of their titles?
Jokes aside, Speedball Mike Bailey is AllElite.
And Seth Rollins announces his retirement. Eventually. I'm Adam Wilborn. This is the news.
What's going on? What's going on inside my head today? I have no idea.
What's going on inside Tony's head?
Well, Tony Khan saw the reception to Jon Moxley versus Cope from Revolution, the main event of the pay-per-view. Very critically acclaimed pay-per-view, apart from that main event. And you know what he did? He made like Goofy, and he said, "I'll do it again."
You're joking, not another one.
My wig blew clean off when they announced this on last night's Dynamite. So, for context, obviously, it was Cope versus Moxley at the pay-per-view, which Moxley won when Christian Cage cashed in and got choked out. So Cope feels entitled to a rematch in kayfabe. He said as much on the show. They're giving him one. It's a street fight, which means anything goes. And given that Christian Cage was, talking about coming for, he wants another shot and all this stuff, he's probably going to interfere.
Yeah.
With the family after Nick Wayne stuck up to him. He was like, "Take this, Dad." It was good stuff. Actually, it was a good little character thing, I thought, from Nick Wayne. But yeah, look, the match was panned. Like it was. More if people were talking about negative anything after the show, it was that match, put it that way. And while I think that if you put that match personally, right, if that main event had Dynamite, you'd probably just watch it and go, that was alright.
Yeah,
that was mad.
Didn't hit the heights I was expecting, but
that was a solid ass wrestling match. But it came after Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay, Takeshita versus what's his name? Kenny Omega.
Hollywood ending.
And the Hollywood ending, which probably should have been the main event.
What a run of 3 that was on that show.
Yeah, it was berserk. So yeah, it wasn't well received, but they're doing it again. I'm bamboozled by this. Do you think that maybe this is a response to the criticism and they're going, well, nobody liked it the first time, let's do it better?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's elements to this. Obviously, you've got the kayfabe element of like, well, Cope had his title shot and he never lost. Yeah. And he never loses to anyone other than Christian Cage in AEW, so he's got a good chance of winning the world title. And it will be good, I sense, to advance the storyline between Cope and Christian, one would assume.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Mox is retaining. Whoever wins that is going on to face Swerve, of course, at Dynasty at the start of April. It's going to be Mox. Yeah. I mean, a street fight's always good fun, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah. In terms of what the reason why they've done this, I think you're right. I think everyone involved is like, I feel like we could do that better. Because it's a short run up to Dynasty, so it's interesting that they've decided to do this because I think they've got 3 weeks of Dynamite left before Dynasty. So
they're burning one of them on this.
Yeah.
It's one of those like I left Revolution going, I hope I never see these guys wrestle each other again. And look, Jon Moxley is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. But this is his Saint Anger era. This is his just like, what are you thinking kind of era for me? Because like, while I don't think that the Death Rider saga is the worst storyline in it. Like, it's not. Come on, the Nightmare Collective exists. What are we doing here? It's not the worst thing ever.
It's just very prominent, isn't it?
It is. It's very prominent. It dominates all. And it's just kind of this layer of sludge that I'd rather wasn't there anymore. So for me personally, this is a curious booking move. But listen, if it's good, I will be the first person to come on this video on next Thursday and go, hey, they did it. They turned it around.
It might be helped by the time constraints. I felt like because they had so much time. It's pay-per-view, you can go as long as you want. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like they sort of, the pace was really bad, especially in comparing it to
was so slow. And like, they just had like a pretty straightforward wrestling match after all this carnage. And it's like, you need different things on the card, but when you're going like this and this and this, and then taking the pace down here, it's a bit like, oh gosh. It was tough. It wasn't a good main event. I hope they can do better in the second one. At the moment, I'm struggling to understand the thinking behind this.
I've got the perfect booking for you. Double juicer. Big schmoz, loads of people get involved. Christian,
Juice Robinson,
Juice Robinson. God, miss Juice Robinson. Jay White probably gets involved as well, along with the Death Riders who probably come back for having recovered from having their heads caved in. And then it's like, oh God, it's going to happen again at Dynasty when Swerve fights for the title. Rick Ross comes back and helps win the world title.
And who's that? It's the Equalizer. Action Bronson's here.
Yeah.
And he's helping Hook. Yeah, why not? I love
Oh my God, Snoop's going to the top rope.
What was it Rick Ross said to Keith Lee? You're You're a big mother effer.
Time. It's like my yearly watch. That I think it's been long enough that I need to go back and watch it again.
And then, immediately,
we're making history.
Immediately after, he did an interview, Rick Ross, where the person asked him, "Why did you call Keith Lee a big mother effer?" And Rick Ross went, "He's a big mother effer."
Not lying.
What do you want me to say? I'm Rick Ross, boss. What was he called? Swerve? The young legend.
Yeah,
the young legend. Accusations. Rick Ross rules.
He's the best. He's absolutely bad. I'd love to see him get in the ring.
Man. Teflon Don's really good. I like Rick Ross.
Sticking with AEW though, there's been loads of speculation recently, especially after Kenny Omega, of course, won the international title at not Collision, that's the weekend show, and Revolution over the weekend, as to whether they are going to do that title unifying match with the International, and...
Is that noise making it through on video?
I hope not. It sounds like a train's about to come through the WhatCulture office.
The T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
It's been a fun few days here. But yes, Continental Championship and the International title. There's been rumours about them being merged for a long, long time, and Fightful Select have some good news if you're hoping for that to happen. AEW sources telling Fightful that has been pitched a number of months now. And it hasn't been firm creative plans. They've been considered for this. No specifically a word on who's going to be doing that. You would suspect you do Omega Okada All In, though, perhaps.
Yeah, this is it. So I'm in favour of merging these two titles. I think that every company has too many.
Yep.
Every single promotion, every major promotion. CMLL has about 90. AEW, WWE, New Japan, I think they've all got too many belts. So I think a merger does make a lot of sense. That does raise the question of what do you do with the Continental Classic after that? Do you still do it for the merged belt? Well, that's a problem they can solve later in the year.
Yeah.
I think that dealing with this is a bit more important. Also, look, it's a big stadium and they're going to want to sell some tickets for that.
Yeah.
How do you sell some tickets for that? Hey, let's book one of the biggest matches of this generation. It is Omega Okada. It is the 7-star match as and say what you will about Dave and all his ratings and all this we do every Friday in the office. But yeah, it's a great one to put on that show, and it would move tickets immediately.
Yeah.
Also, if you were and the Will Ospreay seem to be moving in the direction of the world title.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But if you did want to do Hangman versus Swerve again, you could do it right there. That would sell some tickets as well. I think it's smart business. I think this is a good idea. It's cool. We've gone from what I think is a strange idea in Cope versus Mox 2 to a really good idea in merging the belts.
And obviously AEW's got history with retiring belts or getting rid of belts, the FTW title being the most obvious one. So it just makes things cleaner. I agree. I think this isn't like a mid-card title by any stretch of the imagination. The international title's been great and it's been held held up in terms of match quality for a long, long time.
Same as the Continental when Kazuchika can be bothered.
Yeah. I hope the C2 in whatever form remains though, because I just love that as the end of the year rolls around.
It's like a palate cleanse.
And I saw a tweet that suggested Big Boom AJ should be in it this year. So
why not? He brings the boom.
Yes.
So,
But yeah, that title unification match could be going down at All In. We will be there. We won't. But I tell you where we will be, Andy.
Oh!
And that's on tour very, very soon.
Hello.
God, it's next week that we kick off the WhatCulture Wrestling World Tour. Do join us for it. It's going to be such an amazing series of nights. Centered around, of course, all the WWE shows that are going on as part of their European tour. And don't worry. If you've got tickets to the WWE shows, you'll have plenty of time to get over to see them after our show. And then head back to the same venue, because Sweet Chin Disco is going to be there. It's the Wrestling Club night. It is awesome as well. But we are heading to Manchester next Friday. God, it's next Friday. Can't wait. Heading to Club Academy in Manchester for that one. Then on to Belfast and Glasgow, and concluding our world tour in Las Vegas as part of WrestleMania weekend. Of course, we're doing a SmackDown watch-along in the HyperX Arena. It's a huge screen. Come and join us. Watch SmackDown with us. Participate in Ups and Downs with Simon Miller. And me and Hamlet are going to be doing a big WrestleMania preview there. And in terms of, our live show, obviously, usual stuff. Q&As. Simon Miller's going to be there. And obviously, most importantly of all, meet and greets. Don't worry, you're having to buy them. That is included as part of your ticket. If you want to join us for that, whatculture.com/tickets. And if you want to go to the best wrestling club night that there is, Sweet Chin Disco, which is not only doing these dates, Manchester, Belfast, Glasgow, and Las Vegas, but also Nottingham, London, and Birmingham. You can get tickets for that at dice.fm. But yes, for our live show, whatculture.com/tickets.
Boom. There you go. Speaking of big booms. Boom. My story. Mike Bailey.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
going to team with Big Boom. He's part of the Costco guys.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Hang on, we can do this. Boom.
There you go. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's
love Mike Bailey.
That's his little thing. He debuted for AEW. He was the, on last night's Dynamite, he was the wild card in this international eliminator tournament they're doing to determine a contender for Mr. Kenny Omega. His signing with AEW has been rumored and reported for months and months and months. I think it was like November when Fightful was like, he is signing for AEW. Or PW Insider, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes Fightful reports something and then 5 minutes later, PW Insider exclusively report the after Sean's already posted it. But aside from that, he debuted last night. He was a mystery opponent for the Beast Mortos in their first round match.
Fun match.
It was a fun match, and he beat his ass.
Yeah.
He beat up the bull. He took the bull to the slaughterhouse and he turned him into a steak. So he advances into a four-way for contendership, which is on the winner of this tournament faces Kenny at Dynasty.
Yeah.
So
that's next week as well, isn't it, the four-way?
Yes, it is.
What a show.
Big things popping, in the words of T.I. But yeah, look, it's been on the cards for ages and ages and ages. I think I will say Mike looked in incredible shape.
Yeah.
He looked shredded, which
Still can't afford shoes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mike.
Someone needs to invest. Someone needs to tell him about these things that you can wear on your feet. The poor guy.
He could probably wrestle in slippers. He's that good.
Yeah. He's when it comes to like styles, he's tailor made for AEW.
Yeah.
So I think it's a match made in Karate Kid inspired heaven.
Yeah, I have no doubt that WWE would have tried to sign him as well because he's just so talented. I'm a broken record, but I loved seeing Mike Bailey when he was with us in WCPW. He kind of was working a variety of different shows because obviously he couldn't work in America for a while, but that's all cleared up now, which is great news for wrestling fans. And he's just phenomenally talented, isn't he? And he's going to, he was in TNA and people were just like, right, when's he going to one of the big two, basically? It's finally happened. I think he might win. I think he might go on to face Kenny Omega genuinely at Dynasty. I sense Orange Cassidy already qualified, of course, on last night's show. And then you've got Ricochet versus Shibata. Sorry, I had my brain removed out of my head there for a second. And the Battle of the Marks, not the fans. I'm talking about Mark Davis versus Mark Briscoe. They both go down on Collision to determine the final four.
That's a bit too confusing for me. Two guys' names Mark. Better change the name. Dave Briscoe. Dave Davis. There you go.
There you go.
Big D.
But yeah, I if you've never seen Mike Ball,
Mike Ball,
Mike Ball, Speed Bailey,
Mike Speed Ball.
They're gonna be awesome just to watch.
Mike Ball.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Mike Bailey rules. That's the end of the story, really. That's all there is.
Can I? I'm sorry if I'm stepping on his toes here. Can I tell you Hamlet's idea for Speedball going forward? Because Kenny Omega retains obviously to do the Omega Okada match if that's what they decide to do. Teams up with Ricochet to become Speedballed. Michael Hamlet's idea, not mine, but very good.
Ricochet's been exiled from the bald community, so that's applicable. He's an asshole.
Yeah, get some hair plugs, asshole.
Yeah, go to Turkey, chief. go and hang out with MJF's guy.
I'm saying nothing. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about Seth Rollins.
It's the coward's way out getting hair plugs. So heels doing it is good.
Yeah. And I'll be heading that way very soon, probably, by the way it looks of things. But let's talk about Seth not freaking anymore. We talked about that yesterday.
Literally, it's like 2 steps away from Danhausen.
Do you know what I remembered yesterday as well? Remember the ECW show that WWE did? And Paul Heyman's threatening Edge, and he's like, I got 2 words for you. Matt freaking Hardy. And Edge goes, that's 3 words. Anyway, Seth Rollins has announced his retirement. In a few years. Calm down, everybody.
In 6 years.
He was speaking to WFAN and he talked about, his career and the way this business goes when he's looking at hanging up the boots. And he said, I'll be 39 in May. We're all in our 30s, mate. 45 maybe.
Pamphlet's not. I don't know why he keeps saying that.
Getting up there, isn't he?
It's like 90.
45 really sounds all right to me. I think it's kind of going to depend on what I do in the next few years as far as outside of WWE or behind the scenes in WWE. We've talked before about him wanting to do sort of more producer-esque roles or getting involved in creative, that sort of thing. Both of those things are appealing to me. I've got to figure out what that feels like, but my body's definitely, I feel good right now. I feel very good. Good to hear that he's feeling good, especially after Roman kicked his ass on Monday. But yeah, a 6-year retirement run. Sounds all right by me.
Yeah, he's going to do the Sting gimmick, but like for 6 years.
Yeah.
Every match is going to be his last match. Yeah, this is my last match in Corpus Christi. It's my last match.
Gimmicky. You could say, I'm going to retire in 6 years, but the next match I lose will be my last.
Yeah.
He just goes on an unbelievable run.
Just does the Adam Copeland and never loses properly. Why the hell not? I mean, Cody once said that he was going to retire at 40. He's now 40. So, look, wrestlers, I don't believe them ever when they say things. However, I think at 38 years old, he's probably thinking, like another 6-7 years. That feels about right. Probably feels about right about now, but as we know, circumstances change. People change their minds, all that kind of thing. 45 sounds like a nice age to retire at and have like a nice long retirement. He's been doing creative stuff or like entering that. So, and he's a guy who clearly has lots of ideas. So you can see that in every.
He's done
aspect.
It all, hasn't he? In WWE at least.
Yeah, exactly. And you can tell in the way he presents himself that he has a lot of ideas for wrestling and stuff, which is cool. So look, Terry Funk retired about 20 times. So I always have a healthy bit of cynicism with this stuff. But look, also it's 6-7 years away. Who knows what can happen? Yeah.
Plus, it's good. He mentioned his birthday's in May. My brain automatically goes, "Oh, cool! So he could finish at WrestleMania then at least."
There you go.
That's how my brain works.
Seth Rollins' last match at WrestleMania. Who's he facing?
We got where's the? There it is. Did you pick up a piece of paper off the floor?
No, okay.
There might be numbers there mixed in from our Royal Rumble stream.
I'm not picking the whole lot up because this is it's a disaster.
Here we can exclusively reveal Seth Rollins' final ever opponent is going to be.
Drum roll, please. Jada Parker. Okay, why not? Sure. Jada Parker versus Colby Lopez.
Let's go.
Why not?
Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yes.
And everything in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And what else can they watch, Andy?
They can watch this video, which is the best wrestling storyline every year since 1989.
Not every year.
Every year.
Wow.
Apart from this year, because it's not finished
That doesn't count.
But yeah, every year.
Check it out. Bye.
Bye.